Hey everybody, this is Steve at Brass Horse Studio, and I'm just looking at all these dollar signs of all these different stimulus packages. Hondos and hondos. Dinero y soldi argent. Again with the Russians. Tupe, that's Samoan for the rock. In all seriousness, there's a lot of questions about all these stimulus packages that people are hearing about. We've already heard the news and began to get the $1,250 stimulus check, but we've also been hearing about a $2,000 stimulus check or a $2,000 a month stimulus check. So I want to put my professor hat on. I don't know that there is a hat for that. And I just want to do some quick comparisons and talk about why it might be a better idea than some people think and what you could be doing. I'm also going to put these side by side on the screen just to make them easier for you to compare and understand and maybe talk about with others if you hear people talking about them or asking questions. So hey, go ahead and like, because I know you're going to like this, and go ahead and subscribe so that you'll get more content that I hope that you'll enjoy and find valuable in the future. So you've probably heard about these two stimulus packages. I'm just going to put them here on the screen side by side so that you can understand them as you look back and forth at their comparison points. Okay, let's first compare dollar amounts. Well, one is for $1,200 plus $500 per dependent if the dependent is up to 17 years old, up to and including 17 years old. Any dependent 18 and older wouldn't be included in this. Now, for the $2,000 a month emergency money for the People Act, I'm just going to call that the $2,000 stimulus package. That's $2,000 plus $500 per dependent, no matter how old they are. If they are dependent on your tax return, they would be included $500 up to 3 of them monthly for a minimum of 6 months, compared to the $1,200 one-time payment in the $1,200 stimulus package. Okay, let's consider eligibility requirements. For the $1,200 stimulus package, must be over 18 and not claimed by anybody as a dependent. So if you're a college student and your parents claim you as a dependent, you are not eligible for this current stimulus package. In the $2,000 stimulus package, it's for anyone 16 and up. And even if you are claimed by somebody as a dependent, you still qualify for this $2,000 stimulus package. Also, for eligibility requirements for the $1,200 package, it's for anyone making under $75,000 a year, and then it's sliding up to $99,000 a year of adjusted gross income. In the $2,000 a month stimulus package, it's for anybody making under $130,000 per year, single, and if you're married filing jointly, it'd be up to $260,000 a year. Now, those are the comparison points between these two packages. There are also some similarities. Neither of them need to be repaid, and neither of them count as income for the purpose of taxes. So you're not going to have to pay taxes on either of these stimulus packages. Now, there is one major difference between the two of them, and that is that the $1,200 package has already been passed, whereas the $2,000 emergency money for the People Act is only a proposed act of government and it hasn't been voted on or passed yet. Now, this $2,000 stimulus package is an interesting proposal. It is just a proposal, but according to government figures, 158 million wage earners in the United States make less than $130,000 a year. Doing the math on that proposal, if they receive $2,000 a month, that would equal $316 billion a month in monthly payments. Now let's compare that to the CARES Act. The CARES Act was a $2 trillion program. And people are already talking about how that stimulus money that they've received has gone nowhere. A lot of small businesses weren't able to participate in the Paycheck Protection Program or the EIDL loan program. And our small business owners are panicking about what they're going to do if they're not able to get back to work soon. People are afraid to open their businesses and get back to work, understandably. So while the CARES Act was a $2 trillion program, even if we pay this money out, $316 billion in monthly payments, it actually comes in at less than $2 trillion, $1.9 trillion. But more importantly, think about what this would enable. The government, and really any politician currently holding office, is holding out hope for what's called a V-shaped recovery curve. Basically what they're hoping for is that we will recover as fast as we declined economically because of the coronavirus. That's called a V-shaped recovery curve. That goes for the stock market, but also for business profitability and growth and personal income. What they fear is a long-tailed hockey stick recovery program, or no recovery at all. Now, that could be possible if people are suffering financially so much that they do what they did in 2008 to 2010. Not spend anything at all on anything. Stay in their clothes and stay in their shoes, but more importantly, stay in their big ticket items, like stay in the same cars, stay in their same houses, and delay making any kinds of remodeling or upgrades or take on any kind of expensive purchases. It's the big ticket stuff that drives corporate dollars. But if we stop eating out, if we stop tipping a little extra, it's also the small businesses that will feel big pressure. And it's small businesses that actually provide the bulk of new job growth in our economy. Small businesses account for about 60% of all new jobs in the U.S. economy. So you'd really be putting a hurt on a V-shaped recovery curve if you don't give people the opportunity to go out and spend money when businesses reopen, such that businesses need to rehire at the same levels they were at before the coronavirus hit. So is it impossible that it's going to happen? Well, maybe not. But what can you do? Well, I'm going to recommend that you can contact your elected officials, and I'm going to put the link to that on the screen, but also in the description down below, where you can search on a government website on usa.gov. You can search for all of the elected officials in your area. You can write them an email and let them know just how you're experiencing this, how your business is experiencing this. Tell them how much it hurts. Tell them how much it means to your future spending and paying your bills or your mortgage or your student loans. They are motivated by your responses that they hear, because those responses equal votes. For some of you, before you start commenting and saying, shame on you for not being better prepared for this, shame on you all for not having any more savings than that, I want you to bear a couple of things in mind. First of all, there are a lot of hardworking people out there who bust their ass every single day for about minimum wage. And many of those live in high rent areas and can barely afford to pay their bills. Now, there's single parents who live on tips. There are cops and firemen and paramedics and first responders who work weird hours for not a lot of money at all. There are teachers and teachers' aides who teach our kids. There's social workers and seamstresses and janitors and bus drivers and flight attendants and DMV workers. And those guys you drive by who are holding signs on hot asphalt on the side of the road, paving our roads so we can drive our goods up and down them and get back and forth to the places where we work. I mean, my gosh, there's people who just fought off a medical emergency, and it wasn't just coronavirus. It was cancer, and it was diabetes, and it was other things that have affected them, and it drained every dime out of their co-payments and out of their deductibles and their healthcare spending accounts, and they can't return to work to get it back. So save your comments about how well prepared you are financially, and shame on everybody else for needing something in your keyboard warrior strokes, and just click on something else. It's that easy. You don't need to roll up on somebody with your typing skills. Just wish others the best and get some of that wished back on you. Anyway, sorry for my soapbox. Just like and subscribe. It'll make you feel good. Look, in all seriousness, I'm a college professor at a business school at a large public university, and I teach entrepreneurship, small business management, and strategic management. I'm also a small business owner myself, and I'm using this channel to help small business owners and other people who are looking for answers. So I'd love to know about your business and what kinds of help you might want. Just write that in the comments down below. Love hearing from you. I try to respond to almost every single one of them when I can. So please do like and subscribe if this video and if this channel has been valuable to you, and go ahead and click on the video that's up on your screen right now that could be helpful to you next.